Okay, I have not visited my Instagram since almost a year. I've quit, hanging out on YouTube as much as I used to. I've stopped scrolling YouTube Shorts, stopped scrolling LinkedIn, stopped scrolling even Twitter. So, what I'm doing is trying to limit my social media usage. And I don't want to be mindlessly scrolling. I want to be very intentional as to what I do there. Overall, I'm not letting social media dictate my life or control my life anymore. So I'll soon get into the reasons why I'm doing this thing and taking this action. But let me first tell you my triggers, like what triggered me to actually take this step. And it's not one, it's been like multiple triggers around happening since a couple of years. Since 2 years, 3 years, I've been constantly trying to limit it, and I've taken some steps, which is good. But I still get into the hamster wheel, and if I stop using Instagram like I did, I then go to YouTube and start scrolling there. And if I'm not doing on YouTube, I go on Twitter and scroll there. Or same as with LinkedIn. Even if I have reduced the amount of time I spend on social media, I still find myself scrolling, which is something I don't want to do. One of the most recent triggers I thought I'll share with you is that I was watching this podcast by Ali Abdal, and he actually said a line which kind of triggered me to take this action. So the line was, he said that money is such a replenishable resource and time isn't. Yet we stick to our money so much and give away our time so easily. I felt like we are easily letting all the content, all the social media, everyone around us consume our time. And time is such a limited resource. So even thinking about this line, I was like, I need to do something about it. And that's the reason why I decided to do this and even make this video. Okay, so coming back to the reasons, I actually started spending a lot more time on social media when I first downloaded Instagram 7, 8 years ago. Even before that, I was there on Facebook, but not that obsessed or that active, I guess. One thing I used to think around that time was everything I was seeing is real, right? Whatever pictures people are posting or what things are looking like is very real. But in the recent years, I have come to realize that those are basically the highlights, all the good parts. And I know that some people, show the bad parts as well. That's in the longer form things like YouTube, but not on Instagram or not on Facebook where we just see a picture. So our brain instantly comes to the conclusion that their life is better, their life is looking better, and they are living a better life. And yeah, what happens next is that we start comparing our lives with their lives. What happens next is we feel our lives are much worse or not as exciting or not as good as theirs, and we start kind of go into this trap of constant comparison. I'm not saying that this feeling is going to completely vanish when I completely stop using social media, because that feeling is something very natural. It comes and goes as time passes, but I just want to be mindful of that, and I don't want to be like intentionally going on social media and actually letting that feeling come to me again and again. And now I know better because I'm not taking anything at face value, but earlier I did not know. Another thing I do not like about social media is scrolling. When you wake up in the morning or you're about to sleep, we basically tend to watch our phones, and the 5 minute session turns into 10, into 15, 20, 30. And at that point of time, we feel really great. But when we start doing other activities Or when we sleep and wake up in the morning, we feel very irritated, as if our energy has drained out. And that's how actually dopamine works. And when we scroll, dopamine level increases and then it decreases instantly, making us feel worse. And it's similar to us drinking a sugary drink or eating a lot of sugar. When we eat a lot of sugar, we feel very excited, full of energy, but in some time the energy depletes and we feel very low. So that is something I'm very aware of after, learning about how dopamine works. To be honest, I don't want to wake up in the morning and feel dready and irritated. Another thing I've noticed that happens is that we get bombarded with a lot of opinions, ideas, and a lot of content out there, right? And we are constantly taking in the info, we are feeding our brain constantly and not even giving a break to our brain to even think. And if we do not give our brain a break, our thinking is kind of messed up, and we aren't able to fully form our opinions or fully sit down and concentrate, and in the process we kind of tend to lose a sense of our own reality. We are basically living in the other world, and I know for sure that something's gonna happen in future, what was shown in Ready Player One, and I'm fully aware of that as well. But I don't want to spend my time living in a fake reality. Also, a movie scene comes to my mind when I think about this is there was this movie called Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, which is heavily talking about social media usage of this generation and how it's impacting people's life. There's this beautifully directed scene in that movie where three friends are sitting in the living area, and all of the three of them are on their phone. One is scrolling on Instagram looking at other people's lives, other is on somewhere else, the third is doing something else. And those three friends are fully engrossed in their own little worlds, while and they're not even talking to each other. And it's such a powerful scene which shows the sad reality of today's world, because when we sit with our friends or sit with our family, we are scrolling on phone and actually not living the present reality and being creating our own small reality or living in our own bubble, which is again something to be aware of. So enough talking about the reasons, now I'll talk about the interventions I'm taking. And I've got some new rules. Put a Dua Lipa picture here. So, first is, which I've been doing for a year or so, is not have a social media app on my phone. And that is kind of working. But what I did after that was I shifted all of those apps on my laptop, because you have to check them once in a while. And what was happening was that I was constantly visiting them in my free time, or whenever I'll open another tab and go on YouTube or go on LinkedIn and just start consuming content, which is okay. But to in order to reduce that thing, what I've done is I've deleted all the bookmarks, all the shortcuts. Like, if we make the social medias harder to access, what our brain will do is it'll feel tired to even think about going there. So that's what my ideology, the reasoning is. As I was telling you before, right? I started scrolling on YouTube as well. And for that, the thing is that there is some good content out there on YouTube, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'll not use social media and just, not consume anything, because some things could be helpful there. So what I'm doing is that I've downloaded this extension, and this extension basically removes your home feed, removes all the recommendations on the sidebar, and there are different settings as well. You can try that out, and this actually reduces our scrolling time, and we stop exploring the home feed, which we always do. That's what I've been doing. Once a week or once in 10 days, I go and open the home feed and just add things to my watch list, and I only watch from watch later tab. Another thing you can do is, open another Gmail account and use that. Or you can also do is unsubscribe the channels which are not relevant or not useful. I tried to do that, but that did not work for me, so this extension is working way better for me. So that's the plan for now: to be more present, be more intentional, do less of scrolling. Yeah, that's that. Let me know what are your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.